Hi, IT lovers of my classes. Welcome back to web editing in VS Code via Bash Terminal and programmits.com, and also Linux practice in the browser. So far, so good. We have already practiced Python so much. I hope you remember, or else I just invite you to watch my previous IT videos. For example, last week we happy coded. I just received a message. Last week we happy coded. All the functions containing the word try. There was an if race try except, then try except else, try except finally. I hope you remember them. And also the try return finally, and the try except return finally. And then we practiced also a little further Linux in the browser. I hope you remember last week. And now, thank God again, I will give you an easy German, English, and French translation of what we are going to do today. Let's start in French. Cette fois-ci, nous allons apprendre à calculer l'aire d'un cercle avec Python. Hein, et nous verrons aussi comment utiliser switch case, match case et class avec des exemples simples et qui ont du sens. Ça permet de bien comprendre. Et après cela, nous retournerons donc dans le browser pour pratiquer Linux sur un autre site. Nous modifierons aujourd'hui les autorisations des utilisateurs et des groupes dans Linux. Nous verrons aussi un peu plus de commandes comme l'historique, le calendrier, etc., l'adresse IP. Et maintenant, je vais dire la même chose en allemand. Now in German. Dieses Mal wollen wir lernen, wie man die Fläche eines Kreises in Python berechnet. Dann werden wir sehen, wie man Switch Case, Match Case und Class verwendet, mit einfachen Beispielen. Danach üben wir auch Linux weiter im Browser. Wir werden die Benutzer- und Gruppenberechtigungen ändern. Wir werden mehr Befehle sehen, wie zum Beispiel Verlauf, Kalender, IP-Adresse finden und so weiter. And now I'm going to tell you the same in English. So today, this time, we want to learn how to calculate the area of a circle in Python. Then we will see also how to use switch case, match case, and class with easy and meaningful examples. After that, we'll practice Linux in the browser, not on my phone. We will modify the user and group permissions today in Linux. We will see more comments like the history, calendar, uptime, free, how to find the IP address, and whoami, and so on and so on. That's it for today. Let's start. All right, let's start. Let's go to Programmits to do that. It's going to be quicker. Okay, let me first remove this one, the hello world here. Okay, let's start right here. We're going to comment first. Let's put, let's calculate the area of a circle. Okay, then we're going to start right here, def. We're going to call it calculate circle, and I would say area, just like this. And it's going to be a radius, and then we want the column, and here we're going to get an if radius less than 0. We get a column, and here we want to return what are we going to return? Yes, radius should be a none. let's put it like this, negative value, just like that. Okay, and then what do we want? We want the area, eh? Let me get a little more down, and we're going to get it right here at the same level as def. The indents are important here in Python. Area equal, we have to define, it's going to be mass.pi, and we multiply that one with the radius. Multiplied by 2, and we want to return the area like this. Then, and here we want to yes, the radius equal 5.0, and we want the area result, area, let's put it like this, result. It's gonna be calculate circle area, just like before, by the definition, and then we want the radius. Radius, yes, I have to spell it all right. And then right here, down here, we want our first print. We're gonna print. We have to put that in parentheses too. And quotations, of course. Let's put here the area of a circle with radius 5.0, for instance. And here we want the is and colon, and we make a space, and then we want to print, of course, print the area result, just like that. I think we're good. Of course, before the definition, we have to import the mass because it's a mass.pi. All right, this is the area of a circle with radius 50, 78.5398, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is how the function looks like. And as I said, in Python, you cannot make one mistake. But if you make a mistake, the system is going to tell you what is going on. Okay, this is how we calculate the area of a circle. Now, of course, the radius can be, you know, another example as 5.0. Okay, we good? Let's start our switch case first. So we're going to comment here example of a switch case. Yeah, switch. Okay, let's start. So it's a definition again. So we def, and then we're gonna switch already here. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about language because it's a, you know, some kind of a common example we switch. But this time I'm going to do my own languages, like my choices. If language, lang, it's enough, equal, let's put Hebrew here. Hebrew, for instance, and we cannot forget about the colon. Then we're gonna return what? Return, let's put, you can find work in Israel, for instance. And then here we want if else, elif, so we're going to get another example. Lang equal, we're going to get English right here. We need the column again, and we're going to return what? For instance, you can work everywhere. as a translator. How about that if you're good in English? All right, here, so elif long equals JavaScript, for instance. Return, you can become a web developer. And then we want to print 3 times, as you can see here, line 25, 26, 27. We're going to print 3 times. Print switch, you got to put the switch inside because the definite, it's a D here, you see, because the example is for switch, it's definition switch language. Let me get some space here. So the print, of course, needs to contain the word switch, and then we're going to get Hebrew because here I did mention Hebrew, then English, and I mentioned JavaScript, which is a programming language, but the other ones are just, you know, tongues, languages, Hebrew and English. Okay, let's run this. Okay, of course, the answer of the first definition, the area of a circle with radius, and then it's going to print you for the switch case. The outputs are you can find work in Israel, you can work everywhere as a translator, or you can become a web developer. All right, this is what switch case is. So I'll show you again. So you can copy because I will have to remove all that so that we can move on because, you know, it goes down and I like to be up the page. Okay, this is the calculation of the area, and then don't forget to import math as I did before. And here for the switch case, make sure you know the spelling is right because by Python we need to be exact. All right, now I'm going to remove that. All right, let's first comment here. What are we going to talk about is going to be this time we start with the language. Let's do the language things. I think it's a good example. And here we want to, it's going to be an input. And the input is going to be in parentheses. We need some quotation. I'm going to ask you what is the programming language you want to learn. How about that? Like this. Yeah, of course it's a question, it's not a must. And here we're gonna start with the match. Yes, like this. With the match language, we need colon, and this is the first case. The first case is gonna be a JavaScript, for instance. What are we gonna say about that? We're gonna print you can become with JavaScript you can become a web developer. All right, as you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. Let me make sure the indents are all the same. Let me make some space here. As I say, JavaScript, you can become a web developer. And then case Python, you can become a data scientist. And case PHP, you can become a backend. And for the case underscore, which means, okay, you don't want to give an answer. So I'm going to print, it doesn't matter. You just know that you can pray to the Lord who will help you solve any problems. Let's put it like this. And of course, we want to close the parenthesis. I think it's good like this. Oh, something is missing. I would say, let's get a name in right here. Okay, let's run it. Which programming language do you prefer? Okay, let's say I put, I don't know, I would say JavaScript, for instance, JavaScript. This is my answer right here. It's going to tell you the right output. You can become a web developer. Now let's run again and try something else. let's say here PHP, P, big H and P, and we enter. You can become a backend developer. Now let's try it with the Python, with all of them. Yes, Python first, enter. You can become a scientist, a data scientist, and now with I don't give no answer, I just press enter. It doesn't matter, you just know that you can pray to the Lord who will help you solve any problems. Just know that. Okay, we are good with the match case. I just wanted to remind you that for match case, it's always the same pattern too. It's the match term, and then you have the case pattern 1 and the action 1, and then the case pattern 2, the action 2, you see here, and then the case pattern 3, the action 3, and so on. You can have as many cases as you want, but at the end you have to print the action default, like what you want to say at the end of the day. If they don't give as proposition 1 item of your list, of your cases. Okay, we're good with match case. I just let it like that a little bit, just in case you want to copy. All right. Okay, let's move on. I gotta remove this one so we can do the other example called we said class example of using class. Okay, let's talk about dancing. I love to dance. My example is going to be a class dancer. Let me put it in lowercase, and then here we want yes, dancer ID. Here we're going to get a dancer number 1. It's going to be dancer parenthesis method, and then we're going to get a dancer number 2. We're going to get same thing, dancer. It has to be empty. If it's not empty here, it's not going to work. So after that we want let me make some space here. So the dancer 1, we're gonna dot dancer ID, just like that, equal let's put a 1011 for the dancer ID 1. Then we want to print the feed form, and yes, let's start with the feed form and then the quotations, and here dancer ID. We make sure we get the column, and here we want the curly braces or brackets or braces, and the dancer 1 dot dancer ID, and we close. It's already closed. Here we get the quotations. Make sure it's only 1. Did we put 1 in the beginning? Yes. And we do the same for the dancer number 2. So the dancer 2 dot dancer ID, same thing, but we put another number, 1012 for instance, and then on and on. Now we can run, and here we have their IDs. The dancer ID which has the 1011, and the dancer ID which has the 1012, which are the dancer 1 and the dancer 2. So here in the function, if you don't leave it empty, it's going to give you an error. Let's say, okay, you want to get a number 1 here too, like dancer 1 equal dancer 1 in parentheses here. It's not going to work. Let's run it so you can see. You see, it's going to tell you Mozanana, line 3 in module, dancer takes no arguments. It means dancer has to be empty. So it's always going to tell you what's going on. So you have to remove anything here. It has to be empty, and this is a method. So we run, and then it's working. All right, this is how we use the class. Okay, that's enough for Python for today. So we saw how to calculate the circle area, and we saw the class, we saw the match case and the switch cases. I hope that yes, you could learn something with these easy examples, examples which make sense, so it's easier to understand. For today now we are going to jump on the practice of Linux, and the rest of Python is coming next if God's willing, of course. Okay, here we are on belia.org, and I have prepared already the territory because it doesn't keep everything we do every week, so I didn't want to do too much this week. I have created right here just two directories, as you can see, the dir1 and dir2, and one link, and some files in the directory 1. We are going to work on the directory 1 right now. Let's dive right in. Let's go to the cd dir1 now. In here, okay, I have some text in the file 1.txt, so we are going to change the permission of this one which has content. Makes more sense. Okay, so in order to do that, we do the ls-l and then file 1. So if you do the -l only, it's going to tell you, okay, you have a total of 8 files, and okay, but now we want ls-l and we want the file 1.txt. So we have this one all alone here. It was of course already here, you could see, but here it's all alone. So we are going to change. As you can see here, we have root and root. Okay, we have root here, this is for the user, and this root, this one here, is the group, and we want to change that. So first of all, we're going to see who we have as users in the gettent password. We saw this one last week, so the list of the users, so we can choose one, and here we can choose, for instance, let's choose a UUCP, this one right here, this user. Hope you can see. Right, let me see. The UUCP is right here. This is the user I'm going to choose, and for the group I'm going to choose the Cyrus. Yes, Cyrus and UUCP. All right, so we ls-l file 1.txt, and now we can sudo shown, it's CHOWN and UUCP we said, and the file name file1.txt. and now we can check again. We have to do the same ls-l and file1.txt to see that the permission has changed. As you can see here, we have now UUCP instead of 2 times root. This is how you change the user permission, and now you can see that the user UUCP can read and write. These are the the symbols you have to get to know if you want to know how to change the permission of reading and writing, for your user. Okay, now we're going to change this one right here, the root, which is the group. Now we want to change the permission, and so to change the group is easy. It's CHGRP, and we want Cyrus, we said. This is the name of the group we want, and file1.txt. This one is easy. We enter unknown group Cyrus. Oh, so we gotta go back to gettent password. So I saw it was a user. It's right written here, Cyrus. So let's take another one. let's take for instance, I thought it was, let's try the NTP, this one. Okay, let's go back to clear, and we're gonna ls again, ls-l file1.txt. And as you can see, now with NTP it's working. So what I did is right here, change group, NTP file1.txt. This is how we change the group, and this is the result we have. We have here for the user uccp, and for the group NTP right here. Okay, let's say now you want to execute the files. Okay, you want to execute for instance this file right here. So you make a dot slash and file1.txt. let's see, and it's going to tell you, oh, the permission is denied. So you're stuck. So what you want to do is you use another command called chmod, and let's get a 700. You can also give another number. You have the code 664, or and so let's get the 700 for instance, and then file1.txt. And now if you want to execute it again, it's gonna tell us that it's possible normally, but the best is just to go and take a look at this command right here again, file1 first .txt, so we can see a change. Now it's written here in green color, file1.txt, because you can now execute the file. And if you can notice, I hope you can see here, you didn't have the X standing for execution. You only changed the user and the group. I hope you remember. But now, as we have given the command called chmod 700, now the user and the group can execute, and you can see it here in the content. Here you have an X standing here, which you didn't have before, meaning now we can execute. So if we try to execute again, it's not going to tell us that the permission is denied anymore. So let's do it. It's a dot slash file1.txt. now it's not telling us like permission denied like before. Now we can execute. You see, they're going to tell you, of course, a video not found, because this is how the content starts. If we cat file1.txt, you can see that this is how it's starting. Video provides. This is what they're telling you here when you execute the file. They say video not found. Well, because the first word of the content is the word video. Actually, now you can execute the file. I hope you understand the idea. Okay, just remember the three, let's say the most four important commands here by execution. Now the ls-l and the name of the file, and just in case you cannot, you want to execute, you get the dot slash file1, the name of the file, and if the permission is denied, you have to get the chmod, chmod 700 or another chmod, but a chmod. And yes, this is how you have to deal with the file permissions with these commands. Okay, now let's just type some random commands which are important to know, like the one for history, for instance. So the history will get you to see all the commands you have typed today. So I have a lot. So this is how you see everything you have typed, just in case you don't remember what you have done before. You see, so it's better, it's better to see that here. Okay, let's clear right now and go back to the top. Let's say this again. We have seen history. Let's see free. So it's going to tell you the space available, you see. And we can type the who. It's going to tell you who you are. Here we are root. And the calendar is also good to know. I think I did show you that one before. So it's going to tell you the date of, today. A good one is also the uptime. Huh? It's good to know the uname, Linux, and the IP address. Okay, so this is how you can see where your IP address is, but it's not easy to notice which one it is. Here it's this one. This is the inet right here. This is the IP address here. All right, thank you for watching. I hope I could help you today a little bit with your Linux practice as beginner, and also with Python. We are really far right now with Python, and the rest is coming next, if God's willing. Almost done with Python. All right, thank you for watching. Bye bye.